What's happening, you guys? Shout out to y'all for being here with Wilson, how we're all bonded by ball. So we're just going to get into it. You know, we're here today to talk about how basketball and music kind of intertwine. So all of y'all come from a music background, right? Let's get some introductions going. You want to start?
Dontay Douglas. Right now, currently, I serve as Assistant Director of Bands at Louisiana State University, LSU. Music is my thing. I've been doing it since, grade school, and here I am now doing it for a living, and it's cool.
In the building. All right, go ahead.
All right. I'm
Mr.
Tobias Griffin. I'm originally from Mississippi. I went to USM. Choreographer, performer, photographer, videographer, and also one of the captains on the Pelicans hype team. So I'm glad to be here in New Orleans.
I've seen you before. All right.
Hi, Barry Spanier. I'm the Director of Bands at Tulane University. I've been here almost 18 years now. Rebuilt the program, and we just keep on building. It's just great being in the environment in New Orleans. There's so much music history and resources to build on.
Gotcha.
High School here in New Orleans.
EK.
Yep, you already know.
My alma mater too.
Yes, I'm also a graduate of Endicott High School, so it's definitely great being back, building the next generation of musicians to feed you guys, the college educators.
All right.
Director of Band, Southern University. This music is my passion. I love music. I love educating students, and I think the way this works, we come here to mend and mold young individuals to become lifelong learners, so that they can be successful. So that's one of our mottos. So I really appreciate the opportunity of being here.
Awesome. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm DJ Jess, DJ down here. I know I've seen you plenty of times at the Pelicans games. I do that sometimes. And I was also in the band with this guy right here, Mr. Christopher, back at the car. So it's good to be here today. So we're just going ahead and get started. Have any of y'all ever played basketball before? I know it's a random question. You played a little bit?
Junior
Back
league
in-
for a couple years.
I was good enough to play in the high school, but I played.
You played around. So, even then, when y'all playing, you kind of got to have the music, what type of music y'all probably listen to when you ball in?
Anything hype. Get in the zone. I need to be hype. Confident.
Anything hype. So, one question I had was, in your opinion, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Daniel, right? Dontay, right? In your opinion, what is music connection to basketball?
Well, it's one of those things that you think about the game of basketball, but you think about all the people that are involved. You got the players, you got the coaches, you got the parents that's there, and you got the fans, and then you got the students. And trying to touch all of them, I think, makes this really cool. And so at any given moment, just trying to pick a song that kind of goes to the people in the room is probably one of the coolest things ever. Especially when a team is warming up, you got to think about what's going to get them hyped, what's going to mellow them out, depending on the mood, whatever they're doing.
Gets them hype right now that y'all play.
The thing that kind of got us over this year was Industry Baby. They kind of really,
really?
Yeah.
That does have a tight beat.
Men's and women's really appreciated hearing that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was the thing for us this season.
That's tight. Okay, what about how music is connected to basketball? I mean, you're on the hype team with the Pelicans, so you gotta be. It gotta be the right song on.
So how the music connects to basketball, it connects to, just like he said, it connects to everybody that's in the arena. So even with the players, the music makes you want to go hard. It gives you a lot of more momentum. And the people in the crowd, it makes you want to get more hype. It makes you want to turn everybody up that's around you up, so it can turn the players up. It hypes up the entertainment team. Everybody has a momentum to be able to enjoy the night or makes you want to go harder. It's a big influence on how everybody moves on and off the court, basically.
Big facts. I believe that. So, Chris, I was about to call you Chalupa. There's no doubt that bands really bring the energy to the games and everything like that. So can you tell us more about why that's a big part of the game, you feel like, the band and the energy that they bring to the games?
Because without music, what do you have? You know, music is everywhere in life. It connects us all, whether through basketball, football, personal lives. You know, music is that it factor. And if you have a band that's supporting, lock in and step with the team rallies behind that, the crowd rallies behind that, you have an electric atmosphere like no other. If you go to any football game or basketball game at any of these schools, you'll see that connection. You know, it is very important, and the crowd really reacts to that. The football team, basketball team, everybody, the players react to that music, and the students, in turn, the ones that are playing the music, they feed off of that, and it's just a big old snowball effect of just energy, and just it makes a real electric atmosphere.
Right. I know. I definitely can contest to that. I used to ball too in high school. Or whatever. I'm washed now, you know. But I used to ball too. So no, I feel that whenever the band would play, they definitely got us hype. It got the fans hype. So everybody gets in the game that way. So bands are like an extension of every team. So what's your favorite part of, like, you know, playing a larger part when it comes to the game of basketball and your team at Southern?
Well, one of the things for us, you know, I think we are ambassadors for the university. So when it comes to the band showing up to any event,
Especially at Southern.
yeah, they call us for everything. So you know, as it relates to the band showing up, I think it draws the crowd, because a lot of the fans call, "Are y'all gonna be at the game?" You know, it's like, what matter if we there? But like you said, it ties
Right.
all of us together. It brings that atmosphere. It brings the experience that people are looking for when they're thinking about a game of that such. And the players, they like the support. They like to hear those instruments. It's nothing like, you know, you can have a radio, but with the band playing, it's a different feeling. You know, it's a different way. You got the students really expressing themselves through the instrument, because music is the art of feeling. So we're expressing how we feel about the team at the time and what we want the fans to do. So that's why they like the spirit songs and the fight songs, because it get the fans to thinking of, you know, we want to fight, you know, to win a victory. So that's one of the things that we definitely pride ourselves on, making sure that our team is feeling what we feel.
And you, Mr. Bear, how do you feel at Tulane, the band at the game? Are they at the basketball games and stuff? Oh yeah, so so you know, what's something that your band loves to play to get the team type at Tulane?
We do some traditional things, but also we try to stay current on the songs, Industry Baby, as well, and for Mardi Gras parades. But just building off the previous comments, the band serves as a connector and a bridge from the fans to the team,
Right.
and a unifying effect for the fans as well. Everybody can go there and cheer, but when the band works as a catalyst to get the fans cheering in rhythm, clapping, whatever it may be, and being sensitive to those moments, up and down moments during the game, it's a unifying effect for the fans, and it's that strength in numbers, I think, that gives that extra energy in the room.
The band sounds like they're low-key the cheerleaders too. Definitely.
You know, it's way more people in the band than the cheerleading squad, so you're gonna have those extra voices supporting that adds to that environment. You know, you definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure the fans do. I'm sure the team does, or whatever. You can definitely contest to that, because you're on the hype team with the Pelicans. So like when y'all are going out there, y'all don't necessarily have a band, but you know, the music still plays a big part, and y'all's energy brings that to the team. What do you think? How do you think the team feels about you guys coming out there, getting the crowd hype and things like that?
I think it's amazing. I love the atmosphere. The atmosphere is always good, and even if it's not, once we come in, we create that energy.
Y'all
Sometimes
do.
we have to, because we're the hype team. So we come in, and the music always makes us move, and the crowd moves with us a lot of the times. And even sometimes we do have special appearances when bands do come in, and sometimes they sit in the top of corner, and then they have their own section. Or sometimes the bands come to the floor. We have a drum line with the kids. They come to the floor during the halftime, and they get the crowd. They give the crowd that drum line vibe. So it's always a good time. The atmosphere is always hype. It's always good energy. And the band, especially when it's live, it always makes you want to move. It makes you want to do something. I'm looking in the crowd, seeing people who used to be in the band, or people who used to probably be part of a dance team, hitting stands, 8 counts. People love it. They love to hear the band.
Were you there? It was right before COVID when Gremlin band, they were there that February. Oh,
Yes,
man.
that was Greek night.
I
remember that.
DJ'd that night, and
That
I
was
was
Greek
like,
night.
man, the band just, it sounded so good in there. Everybody, yeah, it was good energy that whole night.
It was. It's
Off of
crazy
the
'cause
band.
I knew the guys on the mic, the twins. They're also DJs.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they host as well. So the twin DJs from Grambling, I know them. So yeah, that was a lit night.
Yeah, the band definitely played a big part that night
did.
for sure. So
Definitely.
want to switch gears. Want to switch gears a little bit. I want to go around the table and ask all of y'all, what's one thing that y'all could think of that the average person wouldn't know about being in a band? Good or bad? Y'all best experiences? Something you know.
I think for me, I don't know if there's anything bad, and I've been doing band for quite some time now. I think the part that people don't understand is that, kind of cliche here, a human jukebox thing. Like, we get these things where people want us to play on the dime, but there is a little there's a rehearsal method that has to go behind it. And so even when we're coming to a basketball game to do pep band things, yeah, we had the football season, but the intimacy of basketball is totally different than football.
That's a good.
So there is a preparation that has to happen there. And I know here at LSU, we try to make sure that the Tiger Band is different from Bengal Brass. So when it comes to Bengal Brass, which is our pep band, we try to switch up the tunes, really play a lot of modern tunes, and also try to appease to the fans. Like, our women's crowd is different from our men's crowd.
True.
So Love on Top works for the women's game, but not necessarily the men's
Let me find out
game.
you a DJ.
So, and that's what we're ultimately doing. We're also DJing, and so you play the wrong song at the wrong time. It's kind of like you can kill the vibe more.
I know.
So that's difficult.
Yeah.
But I think some people don't quite understand that part sometimes. That it is a stress factor there as a director, because you got to pick that right tune. So that's what I would think when it comes to that.
I understand you on that one.
So, my opinion would be the difference when it comes to the bands. This is a lot more tougher, a lot more hard work. Things does escalate and elevate quickly. I believe it turns into more of a full-time job. And I don't believe that the people really know about all the blood, sweat, and tears that they do put in behind the scenes. It's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and really you got to be mentally strong as well as physically strong. And so, yeah, it would be a big difference.
You just reminded me, when I was in the band in high school, yeah, it was like a job. Like, it was another job.
Right.
Well, yeah.
With pep bands in particular, the integration into the entire presentation of the day, a lot goes into it. The student conductor is on headphones, listening to the marketing people who are calling when an ad is coming up or a promotion, or, yeah, you're going to have 45 seconds to play, so you're going to got to pick the tune that fits in that, and it's all constantly during the game, this kind of a backstage flow, and yet you're on stage the whole time. Right. So you've got to be enjoying the game into the game, but you also got to be aware of everything else that's going on around you.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Definitely one thing I think people might not realize is the amount of work that goes into producing these ensembles, various ensembles, from basketball games, football games, Mardi Gras parades. Every event has its different preparation time, and we practice just as hard, really longer than a lot of these athletic teams. And that's the part people I don't think realize unless they've been in a band. From the physicality to the musicality, we do it all, and that's something that people have to appreciate. And I think in New Orleans especially, people definitely know it, because in everybody's family, they have at least one family member that was in the band here in New Orleans. That's what makes New Orleans so unique. Exactly, still in the band, right? So New Orleans is a city full of musicians, and I think that's why music is so important, it's so vibrant here in the city, because people kind of do realize that in the city. But outside, you know, they got to realize there's a lot of work, a lot of determination.
That's true.
Well, I think everything that everybody said about me being last, they kind of took all of my ideas. You know, Dontay told them about, you know, how the different preparation, you know, for the different audiences. And, you know, everybody else was saying how much work it is, and, you know, the different ways that you have to prepare for it. And the love of music, we have another avenue, like, you know, so we have different contests and festivals and all of that we have to prepare for on top of preparing for these athletic events. You know, like that, we don't just come in and play the hype of the crowds. We actually are educators, and we are an institution of higher learning, to where we are showing the younger students what the standard is in music and what's the expectation level. And I think that a lot of times they get the hype side more. We get more of the hype side than we do the educational side, and we lose focus on the why, for the students. And not to sound, political or nothing, but that's one of the issues that we face, with a lot of the students. They just want to do the fun stuff, they don't want to do the work part. And the work part is what, but the work part is what separates you from everybody else, That, man, I couldn't have said it any better, but that's what I think a lot of the people that are in band have to face, because I was at a high school and I told, my principal and the coaches that, we were in the playoffs and I told them, well, we got a festival before we come to this game. We gonna come, but my students, we got to go to this festival. So we went to the concert band festival, did an outstanding job. We got to the game maybe like 2 minutes late. The team lost, they blamed us.
Wow.
So I was like
y'all had to score a touchdown.
Hey, it ain't my fault y'all couldn't stop the point guard.
Right. They knew if y'all weren't there, they weren't good. The players weren't gonna be hyped. They knew that. They knew
that's what it is.
Connects the whole atmosphere for the basketball teams.
Yeah. We all embrace that, though, the role that we play, that it is central and connected to the game.
Yeah, y'all all know that y'all play a huge part when it comes to the game of basketball. So that's dope as well too. Music in general, for anything. Like, if there's no music at a function, people are gonna be like, "Is it over?" So I definitely understand it. I'm curious to know, what instruments did you guys play?
I play trumpet.
Oh, okay.
My main instrument is the tuba, the best instrument ever.
You sure did.
Second on trumpet.
Okay.
Trumpet, man, come on, throw it.
I like the piano, and I played a little drums too.
Okay, fancy.
Yeah, percussion drum line is my principal.
I played the drums too.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Little snare drum.
Okay.
I played the trombone too for like a year. I thought I was pretty good at it. Mr. Wood. Yeah. So, did y'all want to add anything else to how music and the band and basketball?
So, it's often said that basketball is the sport as an art form closest to jazz, because there's a structure, there's a harmonic structure, a rhythmic structure to jazz, but it happens because there's a conversation, an ad-lib conversation going on between the musicians. And basketball has that too. There's a structure to it, but at any moment, during any point in the game, the players have to be in the moment, aware of the physical conversation going on around them, and find the open man, make the right pass, block the shot, whatever it may be. There's a lot of parallels to the way those athletes, basketball players, have to approach it the same way as jazz musicians do.
That's deep. Yeah, I can see that.
There's a song called Courtship by Bob James, jazz producer and composer. 1984, he actually wrote it for the '84 Olympics. There was an album put together of different theme songs, original songs, based on different sports. And if you listen to Courtship, he even uses the sound of the bouncing basketball as part of the rhythmic track for the piece.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I know.
I never to see where you were going with that. That was
Real
nice.
smooth with it, jazz guy.
Sometimes you got to improvise. Coach might draw up a play, and on the spot you got to change it up because they jumped on it. So I like that.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. To that point, that is something that happens in the game of basketball for band as well. We can have up a tune, but if there's a run and we up 10 points, then the song you might have had up, you got to make that adjustment right at the timeout. Marketing's in your ear, but you got to call up a new song. There's a lot going on. The fans, our PMAX Center can get up to 13, 14K. All those amplifications going, it's a lot going on. So you have to really be focused on what's going on in the game.
About to play the fight song and they fumble. And
yeah, and so, or on the reverse of that, if it's down, you're down on 10-point run. Now you got to pick the energy back up, kind of thing. So
direct the band. You have to do it, hand signals. What song's next? Sometimes even cut it. You're in the middle of starting a song, you cut it off, go to the next song, count it back in.
the entertainment team too, and when it comes to the Pelicans, sometimes depending on how things are looking, if we're up some points, down a couple points, some things can get changed at the last minute too. Oh, we got to cut this up. We're gonna switch this here. So I definitely understand that how it's always definitely last minute decisions based on what the atmosphere of the game.
I feel it.
Definitely.
The student musicians that are in the stands making it all happen, because we're here as directors talking about what we got to do, but the students have to receive the information and be ready to adapt at a moment's notice.
Right.
They have that mental part of it, and just these kids are athletes as well. Need some NIL deals for these band musicians.
Mental athletes,
Yeah.
big time for real.
Yeah.
Well, it was great talking to all you guys, and shout out again to Wilson for having us at this dinner table today. It was great meeting all y'all. Thank you. Y'all gotta come to some of my events while you're here. All right.